My 6-year-old granddaughter sat in front of me. She wanted me to braid her hair, and my fingers, they wouldn't close around the strands. I sat there looking at my own hands like they belonged to somebody else. I told her my hands were tired from work. Then I went to the bathroom and cried for 20 minutes. That was 1978. That was the first thing arthritis stole from me. But 3 morning habits help me survive. I'm Alma. I'm 100 years old. I've had rheumatoid arthritis for 48 years. It took my career. It changed the shape of my hands. You can see them. The knuckles are swollen. The fingers curve in now. It's stolen things from me I'm never getting back. But I'm still here. I still get dressed by myself every morning. I still walk to this kitchen without help. And before I tell you how, I need to tell you what it took from me first. Because if you don't understand what I lost, you won't understand why 3 things I do every morning before 6 a.m. are the reason I'm still standing in my own home at 100 years old. First, it took bread. I worked at a bakery for 31 years on East Main Street. I was there every morning at 4 a.m., kneading dough, lifting trays in and out of the ovens. My hands were my living. And one morning I couldn't knead. My right hand just wouldn't make a fist. The doctor said rheumatoid arthritis. Told me I needed to slow down. I had a husband and 2 kids and a mortgage. Slowing down was, not something I could afford. So I kept working, and the arthritis kept taking. It took gardening next, then buttons, then laces, then carrying my own groceries, then sleeping through the night because you can't find a position where something doesn't ache. By 60, it was in my knees. By 68, my shoulders. 2 knee replacements. 1 shoulder surgery. You know, people think arthritis is sore joints. It's not. It's your life shrinking, one ability at a time, so quietly that nobody notices except you. By 70, I had 2 choices. Find a way to fight every single morning, or let it win. Here's what I chose. Every morning, before my feet touch the floor, I spend about 15 minutes asking my body permission to move. I don't jump up. I don't swing my legs out of bed. I negotiate. That's the only word for it. I start with my fingers. I keep a little squeeze ball on my nightstand. My physical therapist gave me one, maybe 30 years ago. I squeeze it 10 times each hand. Not for strength, for blood flow. To tell my hands, we're doing this again today. Then my wrists. Slow circles. Then I flex my ankles under the blanket, bend my knees, roll my shoulders. Everything slow, everything gentle. I skipped this once, maybe 15 years ago. I was in a rush. I don't remember why. Got out of bed and went straight for the stairs. Second step, my knee locked. Just seized. I grabbed that railing and I stood there for 4 minutes. Couldn't go up, couldn't go down. 4 minutes, holding on, waiting for my own knee to decide if it was going to let me move. After that, I never skipped again. You don't force a body that's been at war with itself for 48 years. You negotiate, and some mornings you lose. Your hands won't cooperate. Your knees say, not today. But you show up the next morning and negotiate again. That's the deal. You keep showing up. But the second thing, this is the one people get wrong. And it's the reason most seniors with arthritis kids end up losing their independence. Not because of the disease, because of something much more dangerous. Pride. Pride is what puts you in a nursing home, not arthritis. I know that sounds harsh, but I've watched it happen. I've watched it happen to people who were stronger than me, tougher than me, and they're gone now because they wouldn't adapt. My kitchen doesn't look like a normal kitchen. Every doorknob is a lever handle because I can't grip and twist anymore. I have an electric jar opener on the counter, rubber grips on every utensil, a rocker knife because I can't press down and slide at the same time, Velcro shoes, haven't tied a lace in 12 years. I have 2 blouses I refuse to give up, so I use a button hook for those. Everything in my house has been rebuilt around what my hands can and can't do. My granddaughter came over a few years ago. She looked around the kitchen at all these tools, and she said, "Grandma, doesn't it make you sad?" And I told her, "Sad is sitting in a chair waiting for someone else to open your soup. That's sad. This is smart." You know what I see at the senior center? I see people who won't use a grabber tool because they think it makes them look old. So instead, they reach for a high shelf, and they fall, and they break a hip. And some of them, they never come home from that. You know, they go to the hospital, then rehab, then a facility, and that's it. That's how it ends. Not because of arthritis, because they were too proud to use a $12 grabber from the pharmacy. That's not pride. That's vanity. And vanity will kill you faster than any disease I've ever had. Every time arthritis takes something, I find another way. That's the rule. There's always another way. You just have to be willing to look for it. And you have to be willing to look a little foolish. I'm 100 years old. I don't care about looking foolish anymore. I care about opening my own soup. The third thing, this one took me the longest to learn. The morning after my husband Enzo died, that was 2004, October, I sat at this kitchen table. My hands were screaming, the way they always do in the morning, and I was crying. And for the first time in my life, the pain in my body and the pain in my heart were the same thing. I couldn't tell which one was which. They just merged, and something shifted. For 20 years before that, I was angry at my hands every single morning. I'd wake up and they'd be stiff and swollen, and I'd think, why me? Why my hands? I was furious at my own body, and the fury made everything worse. You know what tension does to arthritis? It makes it scream. I was clenching against the pain, and the clenching made more pain. 20 years of fighting myself. After Enzo died, I didn't have the energy to fight anymore, so I just sat with it. I didn't try to fix it. I didn't try to ignore it. I just let it be there. And I started doing something that sounds crazy. I started saying good morning to it. I wake up. My hands hurt, and I say, "Okay, you're here again. Let's see what we can do today. Not tomorrow. Not what we could do last year. What can we do today?" That's not giving up. That's the opposite. Giving up is when the pain decides your day for you. This is when you decide your day, and the pain just comes along for the ride. Anyway, maybe you have arthritis. Maybe you have something else, something in your back, your knees, your hip, something that's shrinking your world one piece at a time. And every morning you're making a choice you don't even realize you're making. Are you negotiating with your body or ignoring it until it fails you? Are you adapting or are you letting pride steal what the disease hasn't taken yet? Are you sitting with your pain or letting it sit on you? My granddaughter is 54 now. Last week she visited. She sat in front of me and she asked me to braid her hair. I haven't thought about that day in 1978 in a long time. My fingers aren't what they were. It took me a long time. It wasn't pretty, but I did it. 48 years. Arthritis has taken a lot from me, but not that. Not yet.